Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I am your host, Lisette Guittard. I actually work in the cybersecurity team here at Santander. Thank you so much for joining us. We have a very special event for you all today. We have some very special and interesting women connected from all over the Santander group. We have women from the US, the UK, Poland, and Spain here with you today to share a little bit of insights of their personal journey working in technology, and also to share with you what it's like to work in technology at a big bank. As many of you know, Santander is one of the largest banks in the world, right? We have more than 161 million customers, and very important to us, we are values and purpose driven. Our purpose is to help people and businesses prosper, whether that's helping someone to buy their first home, helping someone to save for a moment in life that matters most to them, or to even start a new business. So what makes Santander a fantastic place to work? Well, we've been speaking to a lot of women, and these are some of the things that they've told us. Simply put, it's a place where Santander really cares about helping them prosper. They can have interesting international careers, especially in technology. If you like creating and making new things, this is a great place for you. And of course, we're very proud that Santander has received the highest score in the finance industry for the 2023 Bloomberg Gender Equality Index, and second highest overall in all the companies analyzed. 54% of our workforce are women, something we're very proud of as well. And when you think of a bank, perhaps for some, technology might not be the first thing that you think of. But technology is fundamental to everything we do, and we're constantly innovating and creating and building with technology. We have about 20,000 employees that work in technology across the whole group, and 16,000 of those are developers. 31% of those employees working in technology are women. That number is a number we want to continue to break, right, and make new gains and narrow that gap. But it is a number that is higher compared to most other companies in the world. If you're a young person listening today, we think you're going to really enjoy the event, and it's going to be fantastic. But I really want you to all see the opportunities that Santander can offer you. Here at Santander, you can work with new technologies, right? We develop our own mobile apps. We support 31 billion payments a year just with our technology. We analyze a lot of data to help our customers and improve their experience. We have engineers, cybersecurity specialists, a lot of different roles. And for many of you, your journey with Santander might begin at the very beginning with education. We actually have some girls that are joining us right now. They've been very busy getting to know the Santander universe. They're all studying STEM, so welcome. We have, of course, at Santander, one of the largest university networks with a presence in more than 22 countries and partnerships with over 1,000 universities across the world. And we're very proud of the fact that in the last year, we supported more than 266,000 people with scholarships to study STEM, right? So to study science, engineering, technology, and mathematics. So without further ado, we have a very special guest with us here today who's going to bring this a little bit more to life. We have Alexandra Brandão, who's our global head of HR. So she really cares for all people, especially women today. And Alexandra, over to you to hear a little bit about what you have to share with us.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Lisette, and thank you for the amazing introduction that you have just made. I wish I was with you today in the Financial City alongside with these amazing girls that of the program, the Technovation Girls program that we are sponsoring in Santander. And I will switch to Spanish. Okay, so I would love to be there. As I told you, I'm actually in the U.S. in Dallas, and I see that one of the stories that we are about to tell is someone that actually I had the pleasure to meet a few days ago in Boston. So as an international group, that's one of the amazing things, the opportunity to be and with our amazing footprint worldwide. Cambio al español. Hola a todos.
I'm now switching to Spanish. So, hi everyone, it's a pleasure to be here. And I just mentioned that I couldn't be with you at the Financial City. I wish I could have. And the other day I had the great opportunity to be with mentors of the Technovation Girls program. And today they are touring the Financial City. And we have a firm commitment to help diversity and girls when it comes to choosing the degrees they'd like to study. And we think it's essential to begin when they are very young. As Lisette was saying, in the group we have 200,000 employees, nearly 20,000 in technology. And that's one of the areas where we need to be aware that we have the highest demand. All companies are looking for tech profiles. These are the profiles of the future labor market. And as a company, we are concerned about it being an area where there is a male predominance. We think that opportunities and equity and equality needs to be worked on since you are very young, so that you may see opportunities in this world of the future. And right now, technology is applied to everything. If it wasn't for technology, right now, I could not be connected from the US with all of you. And we could not have been able, when the pandemic come, to teach students online, or as employees, we could not have 130,000 employees working from home in just a couple of days when the pandemic struck. And all the innovation ahead, the mobile, the relationship with our clients. Well, we are a digital bank with branches, and there's a combination of the digital world and the physical world, which is not just the future, it's actually the present. And we think it's very important to believe in women in these degrees. And yet another thing is to get to know their stories, because the stories are powerful and they show us the way. And I think that having relevant mentors and people sponsoring us who may give us some clues about the things that are done in technology is great. And we actually have many women who are fantastic working in the group. And I think today we'll be able to get to listen to some of those stories. We have examples from the UK, US, Spain, Poland. So I'll now give the floor to the stories of these great women working in the group. Thanks so much. And I hope this session will incentivize many more girls to get into the great world of technology. Thank you so much, Alexandra. Thank you for being here with us.
So we're going to start with those stories, as Alexandra is saying. We're going to go over to the US, where we have Carmen Dueñas. A little bit about Carmen. Carmen is leading the transformation of moving Santander USA from mainframe infrastructure to the cloud. Her career at Santander began in 2015, where she was working on developing digital channels, apps, webs, for account opening. Then she transitioned to managing personal and home lending applications, helping customers finance their daily lives. She studied industrial engineering and business administration at the Universidad de Europa in Madrid, and she currently lives in Boston with her husband, daughter, and golden retriever. So over to Carmen for that story. Thank you, Carmen.
Thank you, Lisette. Buenas tardes a todas. Good afternoon, everyone. As the representative of the U.S., I'll be speaking in English. So my name is Carmen Dueñas, like I said, and I am the Senior Director for Core Banking Transformation. It is such a pleasure to be here today, speaking to all of you and letting you know what my personal experience has been as a woman in tech. So while I was reflecting on exactly what is my life and my personal situation, I realized there really is one key element that I want to focus on, and that's fear. Not fear in this kind of like horror movie bad way of, there's a monster running at you, but this fear of the unknown, self-doubt, that it seems that women in some ways are more prone to, right? And that affects us in these key decision points that everyone has in life. And it sometimes can guide you, right? So my story begins, like everyone does, as a teenager, where I had lots of hobbies. I like building things, math, jigsaw puzzles, things that are traditionally associated with engineering, right? So there came a time where you have to decide, what path do you pursue at university? And that's where that fear, that self-doubt comes in, right? So, engineering. Will it be too difficult? Will I fail? Do I really want this? Would I rather just study something else, right? Isn't that like someplace that women don't really go to? And at that point, my father gave me advice that I will be forever grateful to. And he basically told me, what do you have to lose? Just try it. And he was right. If I hated it, you can always go back. You can do something different. You can reinvent yourself. But if you don't, you won't have regrets, right? So I did it. I loved it. And I haven't looked back. So you continue down the line from choosing the college. And then you say, where do you want to work? What do you want to do with the rest of your life? So I did have a few job offers, and I was immensely fortunate there. But what I wanted was to do truly challenging technical work. I wanted to put what I had studied into usage. And fun fact, going back to Lisette's introduction, I did have a job offer from Santander at the time, and I did turn it down because I thought it wasn't technical enough. I was wrong. You see me here. But we'll get to that part. So I started working in a software services firm, building control systems for renewable power plants. For personal reasons, I ended up in the US, got married, got the golden retriever. And that was a different type of leap of faith, right, against this fear. And I decided to join Santander in Boston to take advantage of this change. I was still afraid, right? What is this jump? Will it be the same? Will I like it? And 9 years later, I'm still here. So at Santander, I have had tremendous opportunities for growth within the IT space. Started building, account application digital channels, moved on to other aspects. But there is one very important part that people sometimes don't tell you about women in tech. When you have a new opportunity that is offered, you have to embrace that fear. You have to accept it, and you have to put yourself up there, step up and say, I'm ready for more. I want to try something else. I want more. I want something different. I want to grow. And if you say that, opportunities will come, right? So right now, I run what is called Project Gravity. And this is really moving our core, the guts of how everything works, to private cloud infrastructure. I could speak about this project for hours. It's so exciting from a technical standpoint that Santander has even signed an agreement with Google for them to use our technology to help other companies with these migrations. I am lucky that I get to solve problems every day. I wake up in the morning and I'm not entirely certain what I'm going to be doing that day. And there's joy in this. There's joy in the problem solving and being able to understand these technical issues and get through it. So these are the types of exciting, cutting edge things that we can do here. And people like you with fresh ideas, they can bring us more opportunities. Santander is huge, and the size allows us to operate in these challenging large-scale efforts. And in this space, because of the size, that's where every one of us can make a difference, right? Diversity is not a number, right? It's not just something that you post on a website, the 31% that Lisette said, and you say, we're good enough, we're better than everyone else, we're done. No, diversity of thought, of age, of gender, of race, of everything. It makes us stronger. It makes us better at what we do, right? By including all these different folks from all these backgrounds, you really can create an ecosystem where these ideas flourish and make us stronger as a group. But again, it's not just about the company. It's also about you and you being willing to take that chance, you knowing how much you are worth, and you being willing to put yourself forward and say, I want more. So really, if there's just one thing you take away from this conversation and from my story, be comfortable being uncomfortable. You do not grow unless you learn to embrace that fear, because personal growth does happen at that point where you're a little bit uncomfortable. So embrace the unknown, dig deep, discover what you truly want, and have tons of fun along the way.
Thank you. Thanks very much, Carmen. So you're going to take that to heart, right? Be comfortable being uncomfortable, right? Fantastic, Carmen. Thank you so much. Now we're going to turn to Poland. So now we have Justyna Demkowicz. Justyna is a passionate leader with an educational background in theoretical physics and cosmology. She has been working in the advisory and banking industry for 20 years, recently leading a newly opened Santander Global Technology Center in Warsaw. She values most teamwork, diversity, and giving opportunities to make an impact. Over to you, Justyna.
Thank you very much, Lisette, for the introduction, and hello to everyone. First of all, I need to start with sharing with you how wonderful experience it is to spend this afternoon together. Thanks to the group of passionate people who organized the event, and thanks to technology, we have this chance to meet and to share experience, inspirations. And even though I'm not physically in Madrid today, I can almost breathe the youthful energy you brought today to this meeting. And thank you very much for that. This event, for me personally, appeared to be a great opportunity to look myself from a wider time perspective and realize how has it happened that a little girl, joyful, curious, I used to be 40 years ago, that a decade later turned into a hybrid of a dreamer and rebellious teenager, finally evolved into a director of technology center. And believe me, even for me, at first glance was not clear how those four persons are connected. I definitely was not born a technology leader. And even at your age, I don't think there was any indication that it's going to happen like that. So after spending some time thinking about that, I finally cracked the puzzle. And imagine how surprised I was, and how grateful to you for somehow forcing me to go through that exercise when I discovered that, in fact, this little girl and this teenager, they are still very much alive and they are still driving my life choices. So that there is still one person. But let's start from the beginning. It's true that at school I was always very good at maths and science, but I think that plenty of girls and boys are good at maths and science. At the same time, I loved cinema. I loved playing basketball, spending and having fun with my friends. sometimes staring at the night sky, sometimes wondering how the perfect world could look like, and inventing utopias. Knowing all of that, you can guess what has happened when I was to choose the university faculty. I was in a dilemma over three main options. The first one was political science. And this option was driven with my willingness to make impact on lives of many, many people. Then the second option was theater school. That was driven by my passion for art, for creativity, for having fun from spending with people and doing something together. And the third one was physics, the most fundamental of natural sciences, where you quite often operate beyond even boundaries of known and unknown. As you already heard, I picked physics. Being attracted by, on the one hand, opportunity to further develop my mathematical skills and my computer science skills, but with a really clear and strong purpose to cope, to deal with very complex and meaningful problems. And I have never regretted that choice. Even though 5 years later, just after I earned my master's degree in cosmology, I decided to look for something else. Something still intellectually challenging, but with more tangible deliverables, results, and bringing me closer to the real world and real people surrounding me. So I joined consultancy company, and for a number of years, I was providing services, advisory, tailor-made development of the systems for the clients from financial sector. After another 5 years, I started to look for even more impactful environment, a place where I could take end-to-end full accountability for the area under my management. And banking was that time, and I believe the last of my really critical choices. Banking is the real bloodstream of the entire economy. And working in banking, we work for millions of individual clients, their families, and different kind of businesses. Over the past more than 10 years already, I played many different roles in Santander and was working in many different units. But in each of them, technology was very important, sometimes even critical, vital, key factor. I was close working with data analysis, with software development, with data science, artificial intelligence. I was also dealing with topics from cybersecurity, DevOps, even blockchain recently. All of them, they constitute basic toolkit we use in Santander. You already know, Santander is one of the biggest financial institutions, but maybe you are not aware of that it's also one of the most advanced technological companies in the world. And thanks to that, we can really deal on a daily basis with extremely complex, but also meaningful and interesting challenges. Today, I'm in charge for setting up from scratches and leading technological center that provides services for all Santander locations. We are based in Warsaw, but our team members come from 12 different countries, 4 different continents. Already there is 100 of us, and we have ambitions, goal to triple this number till December this year. On a daily basis, we cooperate with our colleagues, technology colleagues and business colleagues all over the world. We work with top-notch technologies, with very niche technologies, in an agile, so very modern way of working. And I have no doubts that this is really something very meaningful, and it gives me a lot of satisfaction and lots of fun. Finishing this talk, I would like to wish all of you to write yourself your own story. We tend to live in a constant hurry, but I believe that in fact there is plenty of time. So don't compromise any of your passions, any of your beliefs, any of your needs. Be brave to make your own choices, even though some people can think they are weird or contradictory. As long as they are yours, they cannot be wrong for you. Try to make most of your talents. Find people and environments that will help you to grow your wings and let you fly. And last but not least, enjoy what you do. Every single moment of your life, enjoy what you do. Thank you.
Thank you, Justina. It's a very nice message you left us all with. Be true to yourselves. You'll probably change, right, in your lives many, many times. Your interests will change. But, stick to those choices. Fantastic. Next, we're going to turn to the UK. So we have Taylor Dowding. Taylor is currently working at Santander UK as an enterprise architect for the homes domain. She began her career as an apprentice on the DTS degree program, specializing in software engineering. Her passion for architecture was quickly recognized, and she was given the opportunity to pursue a career in this field. In her spare time, Taylor is also a certified life coach and a Reiki master. Fantastic. Over to you, Taylor. Thank you.
Thank you. So good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I know we've got quite a few of you in the room in Madrid. So hola, that's about as far as my Spanish goes. So hopefully I don't speak too quickly for you all. First, I just wanted to say a massive thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak to you all and share my journey as a woman in tech here at Santander UK. Hopefully I can inspire you all to step into this incredible field, because there's tons of opportunity, and I only wish that someone did the same for me when I was 16. So it wouldn't be me, given I'm a life coach, if I didn't start off with a good old quote. And this is from children's rights activist Marian Wright Edelman, who said, "You can't be what you can't see." And I truly do believe that in the tech industry, we're in dire need of role models who look like us, someone we can relate to, and someone who inspires us to step into this awesome field. Because if you asked me at the age of 16 to draw a scientist, I probably would have drawn a man in a lab coat. And if you asked me to draw a software engineer, I probably would have drawn a man in a gaming t-shirt, which sounds really stereotypical, but for good reason. Because on TV, movies, online, and often in real life, I was shown a certain persona when talking about different roles in STEM. And they just didn't look like me, so I didn't think I'd fit in, and I never had the confidence. Which is a real shame, as there are so many great examples of women, a few we've heard from today, which we just don't hear enough about. And I know we're getting better with 26% of us represented, 31% at Santander. However, there's still a long way to go. And it's really important for events like these to take the time to share our stories, to inspire young girls like you to hopefully step into this world. So I thought I'd take the opportunity to share a bit about my story and how I went from university dropout to enterprise architect here at Santander. So when it came to choosing my subjects, I went down the conventional route or non-conventional route of choosing non-STEM subjects. I studied business, psychology, and English literature. And growing up, I wanted to work with animals, and so focused my career aspirations on being either a vet or a zoologist, which I soon realised was actually down to me, one, following my peers, but also doing a job that I felt I was meant to do. Because again, going back to personas, I typically saw women in them fields. However, when it eventually came to me applying for university, I remember sitting down at my school laptop and I typed into Google, what degrees go with English literature? And the first thing which came up was journalism. So what did I do? I applied to uni to study journalism. And I ended up dropping out after 3 months because it just didn't tie in with my passions or my career aspirations. And I moved back home with my parents. And so during this time, I used the opportunity to explore more unconventional educational routes. And that's where I found the degree apprenticeship here at Santander. And don't get me wrong, I was super, super anxious about applying because it's a digital technology and solutions degree, specializing in software engineering. And I definitely didn't have the tech experience. But I thought I'd give it a go, and I got accepted out of 800 applicants. And at this point, I'd already broken down one bias, because I'm not sure if you guys know, but 1 in 4 software engineers are women. And the percentage of women actually doing computer science degrees dropped by 18%, which to me was really interesting, because if I hadn't have found Santander, I probably wouldn't have had the confidence to apply for this degree. So after being accepted, I completed the 4-year degree program, and it was fully funded by Santander. So I got the qualification all paid for, which was amazing. And I also used the opportunity to explore different roles. So I was a delivery manager, I was a data analyst, I was an IT project manager, and then I went into architecture, which is where I chose to stay. So why am I telling you about my journey? Well, one of the main reasons is because I started off as a really confused 16-year-old. I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life, and I definitely didn't think I had a chance to succeed in tech. I'm now 25, and I've been offered countless opportunities to succeed in a STEM role here at Santander, in a career that I didn't know even existed until I stepped into the bank. And you're probably wondering what on earth is enterprise architecture, because I definitely didn't know. When I first heard architecture, I thought I'd be designing or building houses, which I guess is quite similar if you switch out the brick and mortar for software and technology. But anyway, on a day-to-day basis, I ensure that our IT strategy and technology aligns with the bank's strategic focus and goals and objectives. On a day-to-day basis, I'm responsible for analysing our technology landscape to identify areas for improvements and any modernisation. And I also am able to work with third-party vendors to learn about the new tech out there and how it can benefit Santander. As mentioned, I'm working in mortgages, which is super, super exciting. And the thing I most love about that is I can see the direct impact we have on our customers. And that's what's so great about tech, is the fact you truly do make a difference. And when I went back to my roots of why I wanted to work with animals and become a vet or a zoologist, it was actually because deep down I wanted to help people. And that's exactly what I do here at Santander. As well as that, and I think we touched on it on the previous talks, but every day is different depending on what the bank's focus is. One day I might meet with stakeholders to discuss their technology projects, or other days I might meet with companies such as Gartner to discuss up and coming technologies, which I find really cool because it keeps me on my toes, and every day I'm learning something different. I probably spoke really fast, so I'll slow it down. But I've spoken about my journey today and what enterprise architecture is. I thought I'd leave you with a couple of bits of advice that I wish someone gave me at the age of 16. And the first one is to explore opportunities which offer hands-on experience. So for me, the apprenticeship was a big one. I was able to see where I could apply my skills. There's also online courses you can do, such as Girls Which Code, there's internships, there's scholarships. So definitely try and get as much experience as you can. The second one is to look for mentors. When I first joined Santander, and I know it's probably really hard to believe, but I was super, super shy, and I wouldn't ever imagine coming on here and talking to you all today. And the thing which helped me most was finding a mentor to boost my confidence. So find people who inspire you, whether that's inside or outside school, and don't be afraid to reach out to them to see if they'd be open to mentoring you, because 9 times out of 10 they will be. And finally, be yourself. Being a woman in tech, it's not about competing with men. It's about empowering and valuing different skills and perspectives. My empathetic nature was something I didn't think would actually benefit me in a career in tech, but it's been one of my greatest strengths. I'm able to work with different stakeholders and understand their requirements. I'm able to help drive more inclusive projects, and I'm also able to better serve a wider range of users. So once again, a massive thank you for allowing me to talk to you all today. I truly hope I've managed to inspire at least a couple of you to step into the world of STEM, because there's so many exciting things going on and tech is forever changing. And I promise you that if I can do it, so can you. Because like I said, I had no tech experience and look at me now. So thank you.
Thank you, Taylor. Really like what you said about, you know, you can't be what you can't see. And you girls today met a lot of very interesting women, some in cyber, right, that don't look like they're just wearing black hoodies, look more like you, right? So fantastic. Our next speaker is from Spain. We have Angélica Partida. So Angélica, I'm going to switch over to Spanish for her bio, okay? She's actually here with us in the room, so it's exciting. Angélica es científica de
So Angélica is a data scientist and an associate professor at the Spanish Business School Instituto de Empresa. She has a PhD in biochemistry, molecular biology, and biomedicine. She is currently doing another PhD in data science. She studied engineering in Cancun, Mexico, and in Madrid. And in Madrid, she also completed the degree of biology, and she has a master's and a PhD in biochemistry. She's the co-founder of the NF Support Network for People with Disabilities at the Santander Group. She pairs the work in the bank with scientific research, botanical illustration, piano, and university classes as a teacher. So, Angélica, you have the floor. Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me and for being here with me today. Today I'm going to tell you about how, thanks to technology, you can follow all your passions without having to reject any of them. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a female scientist, like people who are seeing TV with lab clothes and kind of mad. And in fact, at school, I was not doing too well. I did not adapt well, so I had to study from home. At 12 years of age, I need to accredit those studies, and surprisingly, I began working at the university. Due to the time where I lived, to the place where I lived, the academic offer was not very good. So I chose the option that was the less bad for me, which was engineering in that case. It did not generate much surprise at that age, but rather the fact that I was a girl. I remember teachers saying to my parents, well, this girl should be playing with dolls, looking for a boyfriend, or studying to be a nurse. But I said, well, am I bad at maths? Am I doing badly at school? Should I rethink about my career? No. Then what? Is there any reason why I should be changing just for being a girl? So it didn't really matter. As time went on, it was a time to evolve and study the career I always wanted, biology. I loved animals, plants. I could understand how things worked, why people got sick, and how they got healed. I wanted to discover drugs and control pandemics and diseases, and the transmission of diseases genetically. That was my real dream. I wanted to discover and contribute to humanity and discover something. I began studying biology. It was my own. I had to support myself somehow. And as a foreign student, I could not work. I didn't have a work visa. So I started to work in tech. I was working from home. I was working remotely back in 2007. And all the projects I was developing were helping me to support myself. Fundación Universia, sponsored by the Santander Group, gave me a scholarship for my master's and the degree and the PhD. And when I finished my PhD, I decided it was the time to apply all my knowledge to the industry and to get tangible results more quickly. Funny enough, I was not hired by any company because I was not young enough for a young graduate, but at the same time, the fact of having the PhD experience did not give me the value of someone with the same age as me that had been working for the company, for example. So I kind of began looking for my alternatives, and I kind of got it in my head that I could work at the bank. I had already had an apprenticeship, a scholarship. I knew about the institution, and I really liked what they were doing socially, with scholarships, helping people at risk of financial exclusion. So I did decide that it was a good opportunity. In the interview, I was asked, why is a biologist interested in working for the bank? And I said, well, mathematics are everywhere. It doesn't matter whether it's a bacteria growth relationship to economy. It's just a change in the variable name, but maths are the same for everything. I think that's how I persuaded them, and I began working here. And then the pandemic struck, and it changed everything. Everyone was afraid of losing their jobs. More than half of the population in the world was locked up at home, and the economy was paralyzed. That's when I said, hey, I'm a biologist, it might be useful. They called me from HR, and overnight I became the manager of a strategy based on data for pandemic management. With the data we had, I assessed them, I created algorithms, and based on those, we could give advice to top management regarding whether it was the time to open or close branches, or whether we could increase the number of people in branches. And that's the way in which the business could continue during the pandemic. Many other countries decided to do remote working 100%. And this company was an example about balancing both situations, not fully stopping the economy on the one hand, and at the same time overseeing the security and safety of people based on real-time scientific data. After the pandemic, people were asking, well, what are you going to do? Are you going to be jobless? And I was like, well, how many pandemics do we need to understand that a STEM profile will not be out of work? So this pandemic work got better known in social media. They called me from the Instituto Empresa Business School to teach. I also wanted to teach at university because I love teaching. And I thought I had given up that dream while working for the bank, but I have noticed that I was wrong. And we're also availing of everything we learned through the pandemic to generate methodologies to assist in future pandemics. And I'm doing another PhD for that. Meanwhile, I decided to change what I was doing, and I found that I could have a place in data science of SCAB, that's investment banking. And in this team, I've met very young people. I had never worked with such a young team. And I also found it remarkable that it was pretty much all girls. There are also men, but I have never seen so many women present in a team. I was like, oh, wow, great. At least someone is not questioning our ability to manage projects and lead projects and people and complete work that has great impact in the banking business. No one is judging us if we wear high heels one day and are very elegant, or if another day we want to wear sneakers and jeans. Many of us grew thinking that engineering is a degree for a man with a helmet and plants under their arms. And as kids, we might wanted to play with Lego, construction kits, or Rubik's Cubes, but we were given dolls, and there were some specified roles. No matter how good you are in maths or technology or biology, this is your role. But I ignored all that. I said, I want to be a female scientist, and I currently am. I have my own home. Thanks to work in the bank, I can buy my own lab material and have a lab at home. So I still play around with all the lab tubes. I can walk my dog. I have my bike. I've got everything I wished for. All that thanks to technology. Technology got me out of poverty. It improved my living conditions. And now I can do everything I always wanted. I'm still a biologist. I'm still doing mathematical models. Behind the screen, yeah, but I'm still a biologist, but working for the bank. So to sum up, your passions do not matter whether you like biology, physics, or engineering, or architecture, or even literature. Right now, with a degree or a tech perspective, you may focus all your tastes and make the most of them. And that's all from me. Thank you so much. Thank you. Well done. Well, I really enjoyed what you have just said regarding the fact that maths are everywhere and that a STEM profile is never out of work. That might be true.
I'll switch over to English. Thank you to all of our speakers. Thank you to everyone who has joined us online. Muchas gracias a ustedes también por estar aquí con nosotros. We hope that you take a lot away from today. There was some really great, inspiring quotes, really nice messages from everyone, a lot around being true to yourself, right? Continuing in this very, it could be at times very difficult journey, but one that will be truly rewarding. Technology seems to be that common thing that will really help us all to be able to pursue new moments in life, new careers. It really opens up a world of opportunities. So with that, thank you so much. I want to remind you that we have a website, which is BTech with Santander, where you can find all of the different job opportunities that Santander has to offer. And also, stay curious, keep studying. We have a lot of scholarships and support through Santander Universia, Santander Universities, and of course our foundation. So thank you so much, and we'll see you all very soon. Take care.